What is up, YouTube? It is Andrew here from The Heroic Play, and we have a bit of a faction review for you today. It looks a little different because my PC Warmachine app was acting up, so doing it on my iPad, so bear with me. Anyway, Fane of Nyrro, I will be collecting this faction, and the cool thing is that they have this completely different system, which is the hunger system. So essentially, start a game, get 3 hunger points. I'm pretty sure Rasheth is going to come with more than 3 at the start of the game, but we don't know yet. Shadow Shift, so for 3 of these hunger points, any of your Eldritch models can spend hunger, by the way. They can essentially, after being directly hit and the attack is resolved, so damage is dealt, you could spend 3 hunger points, choose another friendly faction model within 4, placed within base contact, model chosen's removed from play. Pretty cool. And then there's Torment, which is essentially your hunger generating continuous effect. Literally is kind of made so that it's slightly annoying by just dealing grievous wounds to large base minis and lower. And basically that's pretty much it. Generate a hunger point from that as well. Moving on to the Warlock that we know, which is the Executioner. What a stat line, first off. 18 health. It's a 14 millimeter base size. It's got the Pathfinder, Undead, and Unstoppable rule. Look at that. Speed 6, Arcane Attack 7, Mat 8, Defense 15, Armor 17, Arc 6, Control 14. What a monstrous stat line. And I just want to also point out that normally when you have a Warcaster Warlock, their defensive stats hover around 30. Right now we can see she's hovering above that at 32. So her deal is that when she destroys an enemy model, gain a hunger point. Pretty sick. She also has 3 hunger abilities, which she gives to her Eldritch models, which is Brutal Strike. That's that decap on a stick. However, the thing that is scary here is that you don't know if your attack hits. Then there's Murderous Impulse, which is if you destroy one or more enemy models, essentially you get to attack again. Very sick. That's cool because you can do it after you know if they died. And then there's Deathly Repose, which is basically shake everything for a hunger point. Awesome. She also has Claymorn instead of Claymore. Mat 8, range 2, POW 16, Grievous Wounds. What a monstrous weapon for a Warcaster. And she has a spell which makes it even better. So that's kind of sick. Her feat, on the other hand, a little bit lackluster, if I'm honest. Essentially, she can cast 1 spell, this activation, without spending Fury. Cool. And then the first time friendly faction Eldritch models, so only the Eldritch models, if they destroy something, gain 3 armor. She also has Dash. Amazing to have. It's just +1 speed to friendly faction warrior models. Deceleration, again, +2 armor. With her feat, she can end up going plus another 3 armor. So cool to stack up on that. She has Gallows, one of the best spells in the game. Don't know if she'll have an arc node to arc it off of, but you remember, these are lead from the front Warlocks. And then, of course, Storm Rager, one of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. Target friendly faction warrior model gains +2 mat, +2 armor, and +2 attack damage rolls. Can't be targeted by CRA and CMA attacks. So that Claymorn jumps up to power 18, mat 10. You also have Dash, which makes her speed 7. You have Gallows. There's so many ways she can make stuff work. Now we're going to jump to the War Beasts, which I'm going to go here to the light first. 5 to 7 points, but I want to point out something not a lot of people are talking about, which is the damage grid. The body only has 4 points of damage. Mind only has 5 points of damage, and Spirit has a bulk of the HP on these minis. So the thing I really kind of want to point out there is that's a theme that goes with most of their war beasts here, is that their mind and body don't have as many health points as the Spirit. And also, it's like a field allowance of 4 on a 5/7 war beast is kind of insane. Well, they have Feast, Destructive Troper, which Feast, basically when they destroy an enemy model, it gains a hunger point, and it's a once per turn thing, which kind of is rough, but you can have 4 of these guys out. And then Destructive Trooper is that when it frenzies, it can activate as normal, which is kind of insane. Bonded Essence, which is when it gets damaged, you gain a hunger point, very sick, +1 armor. Snapping Maw, POW 13, Toxic Spittle, crit slow with the spray 8, POW 10. Not bad. All 1 point, by the way. I'd probably go for muzzled, but it is what it is. Bladed Wings and Claws. So Rabid, it can suffer 1 point to the body. Mind you, only has 4 body points to boost melee attack or damage rolls, but, you know, pretty sick that it has a way of doing a lot of damage outside of its fury value. And then Killing Spree, another insane ability. Kind of sad, Feast is only once per turn. Now, here's where the meat and potatoes are. This is where you get your Animus. So this is the conditioning. Blind Obedience is Shield Guard and Excessive Healing. I will definitely be taking one of these with the Executioner because having Excessive Healing on a Warlock is insane. Feral, which is Provoke. So essentially you can have something immediately frenzy. That's going to be insane on some combos that people can whip out. Tamed is Far Strike, so +3 range, and Stealth. Pretty sure that's going to be really important on a future caster. Not so much with the Executioner. I believe we're just going to go up here and talk about Muzzled. That's pretty much the one I'm going to be taking. Now moving on to the character heavy. Again, look at the theme of the spirals here. More in spirit in comparison to body and mind. Has Feast 2, so essentially if it once per turn, if it destroys an enemy model, gain 2 hunger, snatch and drag, conditioning. And if we're talking about stats here, speed 7, mat 6, def 14, whoo, that's a high def. Armor 17, fury 5, threshold 5, eyeless sight, flight, pretty solid. Also has trample and headbutt, so pretty cool to see that. Next we have that snatch and drag, which essentially is when it hits an enemy non-leader model with an initial attack, it can advance up to 2 inches, push the model directly 2 inches within that. Conditioning, which is cool, is if it frenzies, you can basically choose the target as long as it's not a leader. Has bite, crit brutal damage, which is sick, and 2 claws with Afflictor, which afflicts torments. All power 15s, but I'm pretty sure there's some way to buff that within the faction. Crit brutal damage is pretty sick. And yeah, Echolocation is another insane Animus. Essentially, you can always have line of sight while this model's within 6 inches of it. The Vordak, again, here's the theme. Spirit is huge, mind and body is not so much. Has Feast 2, Speed 7, Flight, Eyeless Sight, Headbutt, and Slam, not Trample, so something to keep in mind. Dual Attack, Eyeless Sight, pretty sick. Anything with Flight is kind of scary in general, but with stat line's alright. Mat and Rat kind of low, but you'll see with Alpha, melee attack rolls against non-leader models are boosted. Pretty sick. Lamprey is a single shot, POW 18. Could be scary with that decapitation on a stick. Screecher is 10-inch spray with lore. That could also be scary to extend threat ranges. And look at the point cost, 8 and 11. What a wild beast. Also has Feast 2. Now, if we're looking at the conditioning, again, we're looking really for the Warcaster here. So Bloodthirsty is +2 speed. That's disgusting on our Executioner. And once per turn after the model frenzies, it immediately frenzies again. That's just so funny. Subjugated, conditioning, kind of similar to the one the character beast had. You can choose the target you frenzy on, and then faint for a reposition. Again, really good. Tamed, homeback, so it can basically make a full advance towards its battle group controller, and has Massacre for the overtake. Gross, absolutely disgusting on a melee beat stick like the Executioner. For the wing options, Critical Afflictor, but POW 15s. POW 15 being pretty high for this faction. Poison on the Poisonous Talons and Crit Paralyze on POW 13. Pretty scary. Pretty scary. And then Razor Fan, literally the POW 8 is because you're not trying to kill the thing, you're just trying to afflict torment, force reload, so you can get 2 torments out there, and if you can kill something, you get the feast for 2 hunger points. So 1 Vordrak can technically get you 4 hunger points if you're good. Also, with Talons, you have Afflictor on that too. So potentially an insane amount of hunger coming from one single heavy beast. Pretty sick, honestly, overall. All their options, in my opinion, are pretty good. It's just your flavor of the month and also your Warlock, what they need. So the Rider here, 8 points, so as expensive as a heavy beast for you. Has Cavalry, Flight, Undead, and Unstoppable. Very good. It's also a 50mm base. This guy's a monster because he's an Eldritch, so he can use the hunger points. He has Unbowed. He can benefit from the feat on the Executioner and has Repo 3. Speed 7, Mat 7, Def 13, Armor 16, potentially going up to a ridiculous Armor 20 whatever with Executioner's feat, Decel, Unbowed. That's like +7 armor right there. His lance is what everybody's talking about. It's magical. It's Mat 7, range 2, POW 10, armor pierce base with the crit freeze single shot. Make that have decap or put I think it's called Storm Surge, basically the super solo spell on him, which is the +2 Mat, +2 damage. On that, it could go to POW 12. Also has the Bestial Appendages for POW 15 with Shatter. Great. Would I take one of these, True Merc solos with Fane? I don't think so, because the hunger mechanic really requires them to work together, and the faction's built around that hunger mechanic. So unless there's a Warlock or Warcaster that benefits from having one of them, I wouldn't take it with the current Fane lineup. But there's Fane Knights, which are gross. 6 points for 3 5 HP dudes, which are also Eldritches, mind you. They have Unbowed as well. Speed 5, Mat 7, Def 12, Armor 16. These are your stand-on objective guys, like, let's be honest. It's funny that they're essentially medium-based, like, elite models with a normal small-based model point cost. But I have a feeling with the different hunger abilities, they're going to be pretty insane. With their Prophet unit attachment, they gain Ashen Veil, so they can jump up to, and mind you, look at that Arc 17 on this Prophet, by the way. But Grim Returns, which is sick on just anything Fane of Nyrro, in my opinion. And then having Ashen Veil for the extra +2 defense via concealment and -2 attack rolls if the enemy model doesn't have resistance fire, and they're living. Pretty sick. You go to essentially what is defense 14 if you're unbowed, armor like 20 in that range, and then if you feat, it even goes higher. So armor my bad, armor 19 on the regular dudes, armor 20 on the Prophet. But yeah, pretty sick. Overall, I think Fane is going to be an insane faction. They don't get any special command cards. That's kind of something I was fishing for when I was looking at what we got here. But yeah, definitely going to collect them. It's going to be a fun army. I'm thinking here, the funny thing is that they don't have Vampiric. The vampire faction without Vampiric. So hopefully someone could hand it out, because that's just funny to me that it doesn't exist in their lineup. But yeah, if we revisit the whole, hunger and shadow shift and continuous effect of Torment, I think it adds a lot of flavor to the game, especially because I really missed the super solo casters of Mark II. I'm talking Epic Fiora, Striker 2, Butcher 2, all these super solo casters. Kane 2 is back, which a lot of people have enjoyed. Just having super solos in the game again that are warcasters feels really good. That was actually one of my favorite pieces. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good one, y'all. Bye.